It is Thursday, June 25th. So, moderate chop. What is else to say, really? Chop, chop, chop. It's been that way for a couple of weeks now. S&P is still holding the 50-day, and whilst the Nasdaq's below, collectively the market is still absolutely fine. Cyclically, we're on the low end, right? So if you want to be super bullish, you can think we just trade sideways for a few more days, and then pick up again after July 4th week, and then climb into the Fed. I think the next Fed would be Wednesday the 29th. That's a guess, but I'm pretty sure. So again, the market will want to climb into the Fed, and even if we get a rate hike, a little washout, a couple of percent, and off we go again in August into Labor Day in early September. The only marginally bearish thing now, we have a couple of lower highs, but we need to take out that low, which was, I think, was around 7,200. 72.37 was the low on June 9th. Just getting down to that isn't going to be easy. Yeah, the Nasdaq was more bearish, down 0.5%, and we've got the third close under the 50-day. I mean, in theory, you could look for 24,000, which is 1,300 points down. That's 5%. 5% off the S&P would be what, 350 points. That won't be easy. Interesting volume, pretty high in recent days. Lower today, but still, previous two, pretty high. And the VIX, I mean, really, VIX was up a little bit, but you can even see today's spike was spiky from the 20 threshold. If you want to be really bearish, we need to see a close tomorrow on Friday. You need to see VIX above 20 and the S&P under the 50-day, preferably by a good 50, 60 points down. That's not going to be easy. Well, what would be the excuse for that? I can't think. I mean, I can think of a few, but nothing that's probable. So let's go through some individual stock names. Apple was down 6.1% on news that it's going to be hiking its prices. So Micron is raking in the revenue, but other companies are the ones paying for it. So this was, ironically, an overly long bear flag that did play out. And now it's like, okay, we held for 200-day mostly around here. Are we going to hold it here? Because if we don't, then 245. Look at the volume today. Big money sellers getting the hell out. Even above last Friday's quad OPEX question for Thursday's OPEX. Moving on. Look at that. Arch Aviation, new 479. It's a new multi-year low. It's terrible. Again, gold miners catching a bounce, but that's a black candle in Agnico. AMD up 2.5%, but that's a black candle. Amazon down 3.1. Looks like Orange Gap's going to get tagged. Could be tomorrow or next Monday. This would be the place for Amazon to floor. ASTS down another 3.5%. 65s. It's a long way down. You got to think the September 36s look realistic. Again, this one's far more problematic than Rocket Lab. Rocket Lab would be the number 2 space stock, and of course SpaceX would be number 1. Amex. Shop. Who cares? Barrick Mining bouncing, but that's a black candle. So yeah, we're starting to see a trend here already. Black candles in the miners. Bank of America, new historic high, 59.19. Today's candle is pretty spiky though. Bull's getting tired. Caterpillar, new historic high, 1,057. Wow, it's impressive. Kamiko down 2.9. Carnival down 1.6%. Yesterday's Black Candle played out as they usually do. Cleveland Cliffs bouncing. Coinbase down 5%. Look at that. It's getting close to taking out the February low. MSTR. Look at that. Down another 9.3%. 85.33. This was 197 5 weeks ago. And this was 400 last August. I mean, you can call it. I've called it a death spiral today. This is just, man, this is terrible. Of course, the sailor believers, they'll never change their mind. Salesforce back on the slide. Don't care about Deckers. Ooh, look at that. Disney's down 3%. Don't know why. I will note that yesterday's candle was bearish engulfing and that played out. Not pretty, right? That's a 104s down to the 98s. Freeport up 1.5%, but that's a black candle. Google down 0.5%. So tomorrow will be Google's last day outside of a Dow, which reminds me of Verizon, which tomorrow will be Verizon's last day in the Dow. Verizon was actually up 0.8. Again, 200-day. I can't expect that to hold. There's a big old gap down to the 39s. That appears a given. Just a matter of when. I'm deeper up a little bit more. Heckler. It's not a black candle. Intel. Black candle. Joby down 4%. JP Morgan. Wow, look at that. New historic high, but cooling right back. That's it's not a black candle, but it's very spiky. So the financials have had a good burst upwards, but they look done for a little while. KKR also got a spiky candle. Wow, look at that. McDonald's down another 3.5%. 264s. This is pretty bad. You can argue that this structure here is an ABC bear flag. If it is, you're looking at a long way down. I was almost going to highlight it on a monthly chart, but my videos are too long as it is anyway. Meta platforms down for 2.6, 542. We take out 519. This head and shoulders has got to play out, right? I'm not going to be around to see it. Probably. Microsoft. Yeah, look at that. 3.5%. New multi-year low. Look at the black candle in green gap marking a key high. Micron, new historic high, 15.7% up. That is a black candle. So we did see some sellers in early morning. There was some buyers came back in, but that's a black candle. So Micron should be red tomorrow, at least for a little bit. Netflix down 1.3 at 70.90. Support is 70. Under 70, there's nothing until 50. 50 is another 31% down. Nike down 2.2%. New multi-year low. Wow. $30 doesn't look difficult at all. Nvidia down 1.6. Terrible. Oracle down 3%. Wow, look. This was 250. It's now 152. I cannot expect the 134s to hold. Pan American, that's another black candle in the minor. Palantir down 5.5%, 107s. $100 is imminent. More broadly, $60. This is all a waste of my time because I can't trade any of this now. Rocket Lab down 5.5%. Who cares? What does it matter? It doesn't matter to me anymore. None of this matters to me. SpaceX down 1%, 153. So what? Let's just jump to oil, which is up today, right? Oil up $1.07, 1.5%. But what have we got? Lower high, lower low. Nothing bullish there. And the default would be to expect oil to just churn around sideways all the way into Labor Day. And of course, as for gold and silver, gold officially up $27 right now on the day. But I mean, you want to call that a low? No, forget it. Come on. If you haven't figured it out by now, I don't know what else to say. Silver, 53 cents. So what? It's just a bounce. It's just a tiny, tiny bounce of this decline. What should I end with? Bitcoin. Why not? Bitcoin's currently down 1.9% at 59K. It has broken a new multi 58,024. If you look at it on a monthly chart, absolutely horrible. Down 18.7% for the month, and we still got 5 days of the month left. So under 59,000, 50 to 49. I would forget about this one. I think this threshold's much important. The really big one is 20K. I think Bitcoin's going to be 20K before the midterms. I'm sure many of you would say that's crazy, but hey, when we were 124K, the notion would come back to maybe 60, 70K would have been seen as crazy talk. Anyway, I'm getting really tired of this. For me, personally, now it's all becoming a complete waste of my time because I can't trade it. Probably never. I'm currently scheduled not to ever trade again. Yeah. Huh, the irony of that. Anyway, I hope your day was better than mine. It couldn't be any worse, really. I didn't lose any money today, of course, because I'm not trading. But yeah, have a good day.